Hi, I'm so excited today to be talking to this 27-year-old entrepreneur Annanya Agarwal, and what got me very excited and I've come to meet him all the way in Mumbai is two things. One, that he's created this venture called Runaya, and Runaya is looking at sustainability in a profitable way. And for me, this is very new that they are saying, how do you create sustainability out of aluminium and create zero waste in aluminium production? That's huge, and that's this young boy and entrepreneur he's doing. So we'll get to ask him what he's doing at Runaya. And second is that every year, every 4 year, when we watch FIFA, we all say, oh, why isn't India there, and why are we not having more footballers who are at a global scale, and why are we not there? We all keep talking about it, but there is not much happening to ensure that at grassroots level we create more footballers, the future celebrities from India, the future players from India, and his heart is into football. So that's the other thing that he's doing. His heart is into football, and he thought of why not create more football players out of the country, and he's doing something exciting in that space. So that we will ask him. So join me as I talk to Annanya Agarwal. Annanya, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. Tell us about Runaya. When we were talking, you were saying that about this whole aluminium space and how you're creating this zero waste product.
This idea was born out of our desire to make the resources sector at large more sustainable. And we looked at various technologies, various processes that can be improved. And what we found was that in the aluminum sector, they have a huge headache when it comes to a waste product called dross. And we have over since 2017, over the last 2 years, gone out and procured a technology that processes dross and extracts aluminum from the dross so as to increase the production of the aluminum manufacturer. And we also have created a very innovative product that we create with the residue that we sell into the steel industry. And we're very, very proud to say that this is the first zero waste, zero discharge aluminum process in India. And in fact, it's only the second end-to-end zero waste aluminum facility that we will now have in the world.
So, Ananya, for many who would not know, in terms of the wastage that goes in the space, and so just if you could tell us about that.
This product, there's in India, there's around 80,000 tons of this product which currently enters landfills every year. End of this financial year, we will have reduced that by 30,000 tons already.
Wow.
We're really proud to say that 30,000 tons of material, rather than entering landfills, will now be converted into pure aluminum, and the residue products value added and used in the steel industry. Apart from preventing the waste, there's a lot of value addition happening as well.
So, how come you thought of this idea?
We looked at what were our strengths and our interests, and I think I've always been interested in trying to make the resources sector a more sustainable space. And the family business, being a resources company, it's something I know very well. It's something I've grown up with. And so we looked at business ideas to make the aluminum sector more sustainable, and this sort of jumped off the page. And at Runaya, across all our projects, we are looking to 5 years from 2017, so 2022, we're looking to be at 500 crores revenue across the various projects that we're running. And I'm very, very confident that we'll achieve our goals.
Well, I'm sure you started so young, and and the space is very interesting. But for me, and I'm sure for many of us watching, this is new, that we didn't even know that there's so much of wastage that happens in aluminium industry, and it goes to the underground, right? And that's amazing that you've taken this cause, and it's also profitable.
Thank you. I think a lot of credit has to be given to the state of Orissa. They constantly come up with new legislation that prevents manufacturers from landfilling or disposing of their waste and forces them to look for innovative, creative solutions. And so from that legislation, the need arose for the manufacturers to look for a solution. And in fact, now, recently, we received from the Central Pollution Control Board, from the CPCB, sort of a trial SOP, a trial procedure that we can run. And we had a very long meeting with them, and they as well are so happy that there's a process that is zero waste in the aluminum sector, that they're looking to recommend our process for all aluminum manufacturers in the country.
And do you have plans to take this to different parts of the world, Southeast Asia, different geographies?
So right now, my contract with my technology provider is a contract. Taha, the company is called, is exclusively with me for India. India is where I feel I can leverage our strengths and the platform that my family business has given me. But once we have sort of covered the primary manufacturers in India, we'd love to explore looking at other countries. But if I'm to be honest, what we will do once this project will reach a place where it can't scale anymore. And I believe that will happen quite soon, within the next 12 months or so, because our blood is to expand very rapidly. Our families, my grandfather's ambition has always been India, India, how do we give back to the country? What can we do for India? I would like to think that rather than taking this technology globally, we are already looking for new projects that we can do, sustainable projects within the resources space that we can execute within India.
So what I heard you saying is that your focus is going to be very substantively is going to be in terms of creating more sustainable
That's right.
technology solutions for India.
That's right.
Yeah, great, and all the very best, because I think we need it as a country. Annanya, now talking about your interest, your passion sports, I would love to know what you're doing to create so that we go as winners in FIFA. And why not? Why shouldn't we dream this? Yeah.
Football is my absolute passion. It's what I love the most. I wake up, I go to sleep thinking, dreaming football. For me to be able to do what I love in my daily life, you can't ask for more, It's like when you can mix work and passion and make everything into one, it's the best situation one can ask for. We are already the largest private grassroots development initiative in the country. In Rajasthan alone, we have 500 girls who come every week to train with us at our community centers. We are training 2,500 children across 3 states in the country on a weekly basis. This falls in line with our objective of offering every child in India an opportunity to play. Every child should have the right to play, and every child should have a safe environment in which they can go and they can exercise, they can play, they can enjoy themselves. And I think that the way that I spoke about rapid expansion, we hope to take this 2,500 to many, many more in the coming months, not even years, but in the coming months.
So what's the age of the kids, the children who come and play? Do you have like a certain age?
So we say 6 to 12. Any child in the community from the age of 6 to 12 can come thrice a week, and there's a coach who has first aid training, who has a UEFA D license at the very least, who's going to come down and who's going to play with the kids, do some drills, and then just kick a ball around and have some fun.
What I hear you saying is that you have 2,500 kids training every week.
That's right.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And from these 2,500, at the age of 12, we try and handpick a few who have a specific talent and a specific interest in football to come join our residential academies. We have 3 residential academies, 2 in Goa and 1 in Udaipur. Our academies, in terms of infrastructure, we believe are the best in the country, because our goal, our unfaltering objective and vision is to create talent for India. We are not looking to, our direct vision has nothing to do with club ownership or franchise ownership. We want to give back to the community. We want to enable athletes in the country. We are going to create talent to feed the growing football environment in India. And we've got this wonderful technology center that we've set up in Udaipur, where it's a first of its kind in the world, where we can create a report on a child. So the children at our community centers between 6 and 12, they come over to our academy a couple times a year. And by the time they're 12 years old, we have 25 reports on this child. We understand their strengths, their weaknesses, and how they've improved over the last 6 years. And this no one has today in India.
What you're doing, even if, I'm not saying that tomorrow, like, of course, it's creates massive impact, then great. But even if not, tomorrow we will have a global, at
I
least
would hope so,
start.
yeah.
Yeah, we get into those numbers.
Another thing that I'd like to take this opportunity to drive home is women's football. Because this is a space where we don't see anyone doing anything.
Yeah.
And we run a women's league, Vedanta Women's League in Goa. In 2 seasons of running this league, 2 girls have already been picked up, one for the national team and one for the under-17 national
Wow.
team. Just by having someone watch them play for 6 weeks of the year, these girls got picked up for the national teams. What this has done to me is, I've been speaking to the teams over the last couple months. When we invest 10 rupees in boys football, we get this much back, because the boys make the most of it. They really use the infrastructure and the investment, and they multiply our capital. If we spend 10 rupees in girls football, it becomes thousands of rupees. The multiplier effect in girls football is so many times boys football. And there is no one that is coming into this system and saying, we are going to pioneer women's football in India. There's no one that's taken that responsibility. And we are ready to take that responsibility.
Amazing.
We are absolutely ready to take that responsibility.
So we will see you doing a lot more for women in football?
100%. We are in the process of creating a very, very structured pathway to bringing the women's team. Indian women's football team today is far superior than the men's team.
Wow.
They're ranked, I think, around 50th or 60th in the world, whereas the men have just about entered and exited the top 100. So, and this is with zero infrastructure. And when I say zero, I mean today there are 0 residential girls' academies in India. And there are 100 plus for boys. So, one small piece of infrastructure, one residential facility, one thoughtful, organized coaching set up over 2 or 3 years is all it's going to take to send this team to unimaginable places.
So Annanya, will we see you doing that?
100%. Yes.
Okay, good. So you're going on record saying that. So I hope we'll see. But
Absolutely.
this is, amazing. So just what gets you so excited? How do you envisage, yourself as an entrepreneur in, the coming years? I know it's in the blood, but besides.
The goal of any entrepreneur has to be or anyone in business has to be, how do we take our country to the next level? For me specifically, again, coming back to what we were speaking about, I think women empowerment is the lowest hanging fruit, because we have not unlocked the potential of the women in this country. Whereas this is a country where we have such strong female leaders in politics and in business, in the banking sector. But we see it at the top, but at the bottom, it's just not there whatsoever. So that is where I see myself sort of going. Even at my current plant that I was describing to you, the dross processing plant, The team that we have is currently 30, the workforce is currently 35% female.
Wow.
It's the largest percentage female workforce in the area that we operate in Orissa. And my father and I have given my father has given a very specific instruction to me that he wants this to be the world's first 100% female workforce. And we are actively working towards training women to be machine operators, forklift operators, doing technical jobs, doing manual jobs. And I truly believe that in the next 12 to 14 months, our entire operation will be 100% women.
This is, this is so inspiring. I think what is amazing besides everything is that we have young people like you and entrepreneurs who are thinking about India first. And we'll keep tracking your journey and your story, and we will come again and have a chat with you on where the progress, where the journey takes you. But for now, just summing it up, Annanya has told us about Runaya, which is into zero waste aluminium technology. This is the first implementation in India, and it's already doing very well. And he's told us that he's going to go and get 500 crores of revenue in 2022.
22.
Yeah, but what's the more exciting part, at least for a lot of us Indians, is also the fact that he plans to get us in the global map of football, and also in the process very strongly go after women in football. So yeah, great. This is great story. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank you
a lot.
very much.